We are continuing with 3 minutes of Tehillim. We are up to Perek Ayin Dalid, Psalm 74. So in this Perek, David HaMelech prays to HaKadosh Baruch Hu out of an experience of agony throughout some sort of tragedy. Some of the Mefarshim say it was Churban Bayis Rishon, and others, namely Rashi, says that it was actually talking about all of the Gullus, all of the exiles for the future. And Rashi comments this on the pasuk which says L'cho hayom pasuk tes zayin L'cho yom af l'cho laila, that to you is the day and to you is the night. Atachinosam me'or vashemesh. Rashi says, what does it mean? L'cho yom, daytime refers to Geulasam Shal Yisrael, that Hashem is in charge of the redemption of the Jewish people. Af l'cho laila, and so too Hashem, you are with us. V'imcha hayo b'tzaras halayla, you are with us in the days, and you're also with us in the nights when things are looking bleak and things are not looking great. Things are dark. We don't see the clarity of day. And it's a reference to the long exile, and Hashem is with us in that exile. When we're talking about the exiles, we're often coming up in Tehillim with the theme of battling against our enemies. So I thought it was appropriate, given what's happened in the world, to read what Rav Hirsch says about this particular type of conflict when we're battling against our enemies. So he says on Pasuk Dalid, it says, Sha'agut Sorarecha, your enemies or your oppressors have called out, have roared out, Bekerev Moadecha, in the midst of your meeting places, Samu Ososam Osos. They made their signs into signs. What does this mean? They made their signs into signs. So Rav Hirsch explains that your enemy, when they see that you are becoming defeated, they're being successful, they're sort of at that moment in the battle, they're not going to succeed in the long run, but even in a temporary success that the enemy has, they look at that as a symbol. And that's why when we're battling against an enemy, the stakes are very high. It's not just a fight between two nations, it's actually a fight between God's people and their enemies. And they see our defeat as a sign that they are the chosen people. He says here, they thought, this is Rav Hirsch commenting on that pasuk, they thought that they had vanquished you. They set up their own signs as signs. That means they established their own symbols as the symbols of truth. This was not simply a victory of one political power over another. They conceived of it as a victory of paganism over Judaism, the triumph of many gods over the one God. And this has echoes of a concept that is in Christian theology called the theology of replacement, or replacement theology, which is a very, it's an old Christian theology. There's a lot of nuance to it, but the basic idea is that in certain Christian strains of thought, that the Jewish people were at once the chosen people, but then they were replaced later when God sort of created this New Testament and this new covenant. So that's a very old story, and this is what the enemies of the Jewish people, when they're battling against us, it's not just, okay, there's like Rav Hirsch said, it's a political battle, and we see this today, that really we represent much more. We're supposed to represent more, and that's what really, why I feel that the war that we're experiencing right now, and there's many reasons why, but the stakes are very high because it's really not about necessarily this particular conflict. It's really about the just and the right, and what's considered a moral war, and what's considered the identity of the land of Israel, and the moral clarity that is needed to fight a war. So that's really the in a nutshell, what this old battle that we see even in Ayin Dalet, talking about the Gullus, and this has maybe echoes of relevance to our current conflict. And Mirz Hashem, we shall see the end of the conflict and a clarity of the purpose and the moral clarity that the Jewish people have.